I've had my mind very much on that zinc oxide that has boiled out so many times when I've melted brass. I want to see if I can do something with that zinc oxide. You remember I captured some of that on the back of that frying pan, and I want to see if I can turn it back to zinc. So here is the reduction reaction for zinc, where you combine zinc oxide with carbon, which produces zinc metal plus CO2. That's kind of the way you would do to smelt zinc out of zinc ore as well. So zinc's atomic weight is 81.38 when it's in zinc oxide, and carbon's atomic weight is 12. That's a ratio of 6.75 to 1, which means that that's how much carbon you need available to react with the zinc. But you also have to remember that it takes 2 oxygens to make CO2, so actually you need a zinc ratio of, say, 13 to 1. So if you put extra carbon in there and come up with a ratio of maybe 10 to 1 of zinc to carbon, you're going to have plenty of carbon in excess. And if you heat that, you ought to be able to drive it toward the reduction reaction, which will produce zinc metal. The other thing is that CO2 is volatile, so it boils off, which pushes the direction or the reaction in one direction. It turns out zinc oxide is really pretty easy to get, and it's not expensive. Luckily, it looks like I got something that's non-nano and uncoated. I have literally no idea what that means, but I suspect it means that people are shoving this stuff up their asses or something similar. And yes, I'm looking at you, Goop. I actually bought this stuff from Amazon. Thanks, Jeff. Let's go play with it and see what we can do. So that is my 10 to 1 mixture of zinc oxide and carbon. I've got 70 grams of zinc oxide in there. The atomic weight of zinc is 65 and oxygen is 16. So the amount of zinc in zinc oxide is about 80% of the weight. So that 70 grams of zinc oxide is going to produce 55, 56 grams of zinc if everything works perfectly. So this weighs 184 grams. So the amount of zinc oxide I'm going to get, even if this thing goes off completely without a hitch, is pretty small. It's a burning off zinc oxide, doggone it, which means there's oxygen getting into my crucible. Either my lid's not tight enough, or I let the heat get too high, and the zinc oxide just started combusting. I don't know. I'm going to let it cool off, and I'm going to pour out and see if I got anything. It's only been in there 5 or 6 minutes, but it's been pretty darn hot. I was watching this video about these people reducing malachite to copper by putting it in balls of clay and putting the balls of clay in a fire and blowing in the fire. But it turned out that I don't have any clay, and that plaster won't mold like clay. But I did have eggs, so I blew out some eggs, wrapped them up like this. I put a piece of gauze around and put them in a kind of a little cast, and then just built them up till they were nice and thick. Then I gathered all my eggs here in this basket, and what I'll do is charge these suckers up and then probably layer them with one more layer of plaster, and then go ahead and give them a bake. Here's what I plan to use to charge up my little cooking vessels. This is malachite. It's powdered copper ore. I reduced that with a hammer. Ground it up in my coffee grinder, which I have to tell you, I think it's probably smoked at this point. There's my reducing agent, charcoal. Of course, there's my zinc oxide. I finished my ablutions this morning and took what I had left and brought it out here. I don't have any way to really label these, but I have smooth ones and rough ones, so I think I'll put the copper in the smooth ones because it's the cooler metal. So we'll just charge these babies up. So I got my fire burning. I'm just gonna put these puppies in. I have literally no idea how long they should be in there, so I'm just gonna load it in and wait. Just 4 or 5 minutes into it here, I think things are probably starting to get pretty hot in there. I kind of consider my zinc to be the canary in the coal mine. If it starts boiling off here, it means I didn't get a nice hermetic seal. If it doesn't, then I'm probably in a reducing environment and I might actually get something here. So we'll just keep an eye on it and see what happens. We're 30 minutes into this particular evolution here. I think the eggs have descended into the depths as the charcoal has collapsed around it. I can't see them anymore. But I haven't seen any cooking off from the zinc. So I've decided what I'm going to do is go for an hour and stop adding charcoal, and then I will let it burn down until it's completely cold and pop those eggs and see what I get. Well, we just hit the hour mark, so I'm going to stop adding charcoal and let this thing cook off. I'm not sure if you can see it, but these coals over here have a yellow cast to them, which suggests to me that at least one of my zinc oxide vessels has failed here. That really looks like zinc oxide to me. Here's the results of my second attempt at smelting. So all 4 of the eggs had actually broken. You can tell those are the zinc eggs. These are the copper eggs. A lot of crap. They weren't as broken open as this, but they were broken. I'm not seeing anything in there but more copper, or but more zinc oxide. And I think because of the way that looks, I think that may have been melted zinc once, but that it just all oxided. I probably way overcooked it. So, no go on zinc oxide to zinc. Now this is interesting. See that? That's copper metal. I smelted copper. Is it pretty? No. I never intended for this to be something that would produce any significant quantity of actual metal. I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I did. Twice, because they both have copper metal in them. Not pretty. You can hear that. There it is. Look at the color on that. That is copper, my friends. So that was kind of fun. A little disappointed in the zinc, but I got plenty of zinc oxide left, that which hasn't disappeared up my nether. I think we'll call this video a wrap. Let's just take a look at this for a minute just for fun. Please be sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends. I just think it's kind of fun that I actually managed to smelt copper. Remember, smelting and melting, not the same thing. This was the production of a reduction reaction in an anaerobic environment that turned copper ore into copper metal. So yeah, let's see. Suck it, buddy. Turns out I can do what you did. And pretty soon I'm going to be making more copper, and I'm probably going to make a frickin' axe, and I'm going to show you off or show you up, old man.